The world might feel a bit more chaotic and a bit more divided. It's easy to forget sometimes that there are constants. Your home's still your home, your family's still your family, and all the structures of our society are still there to look after you if you need it.
Here we go. George's recess.
Adult male, code red trauma, 10 minutes.
Activate the helipad.
There's been an explosion on a building site.
Heart rate 200.
Open your eyes, open your eyes.
Imagine having to work here.
Hello, Annie, can I help?
St George's, London.
It's all gonna kick off now.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Are we ready to roll?
We'll carry on CPR.
Oh, goodness me, it's all happening, isn't it?
We need to fix that, or you won't survive.
Is it?
A place where life,
Would you say I was fit, Doctor? Honestly, I think I'm quite fit.
love,
You are my everything. I love you, and it's okay.
and loss
Oh, Mum. I'm so sorry.
unfold every single day.
For every bad thing that you see, there is something equally wonderful out there.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
I thought I was going to die.
You're definitely not going to die. You've got too many good doctors and nurses here.
When people experience really significant illness or injuries, we see people pull together, we see relationships get stronger, and we see people reflect on what really is the most important things in their life.
Whatever happens, it's going to be okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
As a junior doctor in emergency medicine, if you get told the words at handover, you're going into resus. It's like the golden ticket.
George's recess.
It's a mixture of excitement and it can be quite daunting. It's where the sickest people in the emergency department go. If you're in resus, you're very unwell.
Right, so we're all gonna lift up and across, okay? All right, if everyone listen to the handover, please.
It's a bit of a learning curve when you go in there. Anything and everything comes through the door.
Had a sudden collapse into cardiac arrest.
You never really know exactly what to expect.
Sustained multiple stab wounds.
Shall we have a quick primary, please?
So when a patient comes in, the lead is usually taken over by the consultant or the most senior member of staff.
OK, can we have a handover, please?
Demonstrated by normally standing at the end of the bed so that they can give instructions, they can see the entirety of the situation in front of them and know exactly who's doing what.
Can we get him off the scoop, Liam? Is that okay?
I think he also needs a CT head. I suppose I did that like that.
The team, they do look to the leader to come up with the plan.
Do you lead?
I've never really led one.
So this is your first one that you lead? Yeah. Don't get into resus very much.
When you're told that you're going to be the leader in a resus situation for the first time, it's a landmark, but it's also a very scary landmark.
So it needs to do the primary survey, first of all, just to see what's going on.
You've got someone's life in your hands.
George's recess. Go ahead. 88-year-old female, 55. 98 on oxygen.
An 88-year-old female is being rushed to St George's, having been found collapsed and unresponsive at home.
Cheers, bye.
It's a sepsis query.
Yeah.
Query chest. It's a respirator, 55.
Female medical priority, 20 minutes.
Her son is travelling with her in the ambulance.
It was a nice June morning, you know. We were just two of us, me and my mum, at home. When I came downstairs, my mum was in the bathroom having a shower. So I had my breakfast, got ready, and I saw her Zimmer frame outside in the bathroom still. And that worried me because she wouldn't stay in the bathroom for that long. I called for her twice, and I didn't have any answer. I opened the door and I found her lying in the shower tray, flat on her back, unconscious, breathing really very heavily.
88.
88, reduced GCS.
She could have been there a couple of hours. It was like a scene from a horror story. Awful, absolutely awful to see her like that.
You're going to see the other one that's just come in, Sarah. There's another one that's just come in. Okay.
So, 88-year-old female. Last seen normal yesterday night around 7. Her sons found her in the shower. Initially, she was 411 just GCS. No obvious injuries found, no obvious head injury or neck injury besides the lac she's just got on her shoulder there. She was hypertensive at 182 on 155. So the temperature was very high. She was kind of in like a shower/sauna. Irregular heart rate, not known to have an irregular beat, AF an hour.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, my darling.
37.6.
Hello, I'm Siobhan. I'm one of the A&E doctors. What's your name?
Slowly, slowly.
Collapsing is an indicator that your blood pressure has got quite low. Your brain is not getting enough blood. Patients can collapse for a number of reasons, but we obviously have to rule out the most dangerous ones. A cardiological cause, so anything to do with the heart, overwhelming infections or a stroke.
Fast AF. Blood pressure. 155 over 70, temperature 40, but was apparently found in the shower, collapsed. Hi, it's Siobhan in A&E Resus. I've ordered a portable X-ray for a Hassid Ben from Resus 6.
Hello, sir. My name's Chris. I'm one of the nurses here. We're looking after your mum. Would you like to come and see her? Lovely. Come on this way. Here we go, sir. This is Joss. Joss is the nurse looking after her at the moment.
Hello, hi,
Okay.
nice to meet you.
I'm now 65 years old and I always lived with her all my life. We never been parted. So we were very, very close, and being the only child, you know. She's really the person I've known for the most of my life in a true loving manner, you know. We've been through a lot together. I think she sacrificed all her life, you know, wherever she could, you know, for me. I owe her my life, really, in many ways.
So we think it's likely she's got an infection. We'll do an X-ray of her chest. Okay, and we've sent off some blood tests.
88-year-old Hasuben is in resus, having collapsed in the shower at home.
We're treating her with antibiotics.
Oh, I see, okay.
And some fluid, and we'll see how she responds.
Sure.
We're just going to lean you forward, okay?
My X-ray on. Just me, yes.
Okay. X-rays, both sit.
In Indian culture, the boy looks after the parents. When I proposed to my wife, you know, I did tell her, look, I'm always going to stay with my mom. I want her to live with us. I think my mom is very happy staying in our house. Okay. She will watch cricket and football. That's all she watches on the television. She loves being pampered, you know. But we've not always lived like this.
Hello, I'm Siobhan. I'm one of the A&E doctors.
Oh, hi there.
Hiya.
Siobhan.
So I'm looking after your mum. How has she been herself before today?
Very well indeed, you know. Yesterday evening, about 7 o'clock, you know, and we watched the television together, and she was so happy India won, you know, cricket. And enjoyed, you know, watching cricket and everything, you know.
Her heart rhythm's a little bit on the far side and quite irregular, which sometimes goes with having an infection. We've got an X-ray, so I'll have a quick look at that and we'll wait for her blood test to come back. And we're going to get a scan of her head, just to make sure that nothing else is going on. So I will just tannoy for a porter and we'll get her round for a scan.
Wonderful.
All right, you wait here, that's absolutely fine.
Back home in Kenya, where I grew up, where I was born, we were not very well-to-do. We lived in a small house. We didn't have a television in the house, but I had all the facilities that I needed at that time.
OK, my darling. We're going to go for a CT scan.
Mum loved cooking vegetarian foods, you know, snacky foods, good meals. We used to sit on the floor and eat together, you know, me and my mum. We did everything together.
Pastor Ben, we need to get you over to the CT scan, OK?
My dad used to be working in a farm, and he often did not come home for about 2-3 months at a time. And because I was the only child, it was mainly me and my mum living together in this one little room.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
I think she accepted that this is the best what she can have with what amount of money she had. And I don't think she ever complained. But she wanted for me to have good education. We were poor, but she brought me a proper little desk to work on, which I really enjoyed because I could open the drawer and put my own things in there, and I could study on that. You know.
There we go, darling. All finished. All finished.
She knew that education is something that, you know, cannot be taken away from you. You can lose money, you can lose this, but education is not something you can't lose. You know, that's in you, you know.
Ah. 23-year-old bartender Robert is in A&E with his friend Skylar after a beer barrel fell on his ankle.
If it carries on going like this, we're going to have to get you bloody goggles, a hard hat, some elbow and shin pads.
I mean, but to be honest, this is my first proper bar injury.
Good.
When the barrel fell on my ankle, like, obviously I let out a big scream and a big shout.
So I was upstairs in the boardroom.
Yeah, I heard...
Really muffled. I was like, oh, Rob, 100%.
So when they're empty, you can carry like 2 or 3 at once, but the liquid is what gives it that extra weight. I don't know the exact weight, but I know they're over 50 kg.
It looks like somebody's, you know, you go to caught in a bear trap or something. That's what it looks like.
Being a barman is great. You gotta be the personality, be the life of the party. On a busy Saturday, you know, like I'll start flaring, throwing the bottles around, you know, just chatting to every customer I can. And then you can talk about anything. I remember I started a conversation with I like turtles one time.
Doctors like buses. None for ages and they all come at once.
First time I met Skylar was on my trial shift. He had just been promoted from head barman to supervisor. He showed me where every glass was. He showed me his system.
Donut? I knew there was
He taught me, you gotta take pride in what you do. Like, you gotta pour the perfect pint, even though it is just a pint. If it's not done properly, there's no point in doing it, you know? When it comes to my work ethic, I got from him.
Doesn't taste like sambuca.
Just me?
Just you.
I just focused on knowing my bar, and then I got into cocktails, then wines, and your different whiskies and your different rums.
Robert.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Robert. We're coming.
Then I got into just loving bartending. I just found myself waking up wanting to go to work, you know.
Hurt your foot and your ankle, have you?
Yes.
What happened?
I was going to change one of the barrels.
Sure.
And then I tripped on one of the lines, and the lines pulled the barrel down onto my ankle.
Okay.
So when I first done it, the pain was excruciating. Like, the moment I move, it's going to start hurting again.
Oh, so sorry. Even that little touch is really painful, isn't it? God. So it's all here, where the cuts are.
Yeah. Ha!
Oh, God, OK, yeah, hello. Well, I think that definitely needs an X-ray.
Can I just have a look at how far the pain goes up? Because it changes where we X-ray.
So we're good, we're good, we're good. Yeah, that's where it starts to get tender.
So is that painful there?
Yeah.
Fine. OK. Go for an X-ray. What beer was it?
Unfortunately, Heineken, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
I don't like Heineken that much.
Yeah, no one does. Heineken doesn't like me that much either.
So we'll X-ray your ankle and your foot, OK? Because you're kind of painful all over, really.
Bartending, it's not a lot of money, just gen box standard pay. But I'm loving it, you know? It's always fun, you know, you always get the good, lively customers. And I was young, there's no worries. I didn't think about finding a career. And just bounce around, see where life goes.
So I think they think you're the new guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel like right now. Yeah, just take him to X-ray Skyler. I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. I'll do that right for you now, guys.
Bless you.
How am I dying today? I'm more unwell than all the children I've seen today.
If you make me ill, I swear to
I'm going to
God.
probably make you ill, to be fair.
I'm not going to be happy about it.
I got it from a snotty little kid on Friday, so I'm angry.
I mean...
I've spent my last 3 shifts in PT&E.
I think you need a healthy dose of Lady Up.
Yeah, that's fair.
What time are you working tomorrow?
10:07. But I might have to go home tonight.
Why?
Because I don't have any of my stuff with me.
No. What happened to the stuff I washed?
Well, I don't have my makeup bag. I don't have any of that with me.
Don't worry about your makeup. You don't need it. You look fine.
I don't. For work, I need it. How can I make sales when I look like this?
I don't wear makeup.
Yeah, but you're a boy.
I still feel like I could make more sales with a bit of blush.
Contour.
Bit of blush.
Bit of blush.
Bit of rouge. What's the best way that I can just relax, you know?
Law student Jamie has come to A&E following an operation. His friend Lily is with him.
Don't help.
I don't even care if they said don't lay down, I'm laying down. Oh.
Is that what they said? Don't lay down?
I don't know. Should take a seat, but...
I had a major surgery and spent some time in the hospital, and when I was discharged, the stronger pain medicine ran out and then ended up where I couldn't function and the pain just was overwhelming.
Gonna sit up for a bit.
Lily came to visit me. I was like, I can't deal with this. And she said, well, why don't you go to the hospital? And I said, yeah, okay, let's go.
I don't know what's better, you know?
What do you mean?
Sitting up or laying down. And I have a condition called pectus excavatum. Essentially, the front part of your rib cage, your ribs grow too far, and it pushes your sternum inwards. And most of the time, it will grow out in your teenage years, and you'll never need any correctional surgery or anything like that. And then there's a very small number where it continues to grow inwards, deeper and deeper, until it starts to press internally, and it pushes all of your organs either side of it out of the way. It was getting progressively deeper, and eventually it got to a point where corrective surgery would need to be done. It's called a NUS procedure, which was to make 2 small incisions, keyhole surgery, and insert a bar along the back of the rib cage where it would be flipped round 180 degrees in surgery and then bolted to the rib cage to essentially push out the depression.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Georgie. I'm one of the emergency doctors.
Hi.
How are we doing?
I mean, obviously, I've had better days, but...
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
How can I help today?
Essentially, just excruciating pain.
Okay.
Need some pain medication that they won't give me over the counter.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be short and tall of it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Can I ask, when was your procedures done?
Friday morning.
Friday
I came
morning.
out of surgery at 12:30, and I've been on morphine until Monday morning.
Yeah.
They took the morphine away.
Yeah.
Gave me paracetamol, some ibuprofen to replace that.
So you didn't have anything in between the morphine, going from morphine to paracetamol? They didn't give you
Well,
an
I've got
in-between?
ibuprofen as well.
Okay, but they didn't give you any opiates or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Can you just tell me a bit about the procedures that you've had done? I saw in the triage what's happened. So you've had something for pectus, Nussbar.
Bingo.
Any shortness of breath? Or
Yeah,
is it mainly-
massively.
Massively.
Just because I can't inflate.
Yeah.
It just hurts too much.
And is that mainly just because of pain, or do you feel like there's something stopping you from breathing as well?
I mean, there feels like restriction in the chest.
Yeah.
But that's partly because everything's been...
Brought out, isn't it?
It's been moved.
Yeah, so I guess your lungs are now trying to get used to occupying that space that they...
Yeah, because I know that they did drop by 4 inches, and my heart's moved across
Okay.
to kind of feel where it should be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can get you something to have in between. So there's something in between paracetamol and morphine. It's called codeine. Do you want me to get you some pain relief and then I can examine you and get an X-ray done? I won't take too long, I promise.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she's nice.
The pain was so intense. I've never felt pain like it before in my life. But at the same time, I'd gone through so much mentally, physically and emotionally in my life. Because of the condition, I thought, this is it, this is finished now. Yes, I am in pain, but this is the start of the end. This is my road to recovery that I've taken my first step on.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to sleep a little bit.
Oh, that'd be great, because if I'm honest, I'm getting a bit delusional.
Jamie is in A&E with chest pain following an operation.
I got you the plain codeine.
Ah.
There you go. So that's codeine for you. Okay. I think it's extremely difficult going from having your morphine button of joy to just having paracetamol, and often it helps to have that bridging painkiller in between.
Yeah. I just remember realizing that my chest was different to other kids. I was in primary school and we were getting changed for PE, and a kid screamed out as loud as he could, "That's disgusting. What's wrong with your chest?" And I went bright red and just burst into tears. And then everyone started laughing at me because I was crying. And I was so terrified for months and months on end of getting changed in PE that I would sit in a corner and try and change with my clothes still on. It was a huge target for other kids to make fun of. It progressively got worse as in teenagers.
So what we'll do is just a quick examination. We've got your blood tests in the lab. I just want to make sure they all look okay. I mean, they're not going to be perfect because you've just had a significant surgery. Let me just take a listen to your heart and lungs. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Any pain
just
in
be
your...
careful with the heart one.
Yeah.
It's super tender.
No worries. I'm just going to, like, really softly over the top of your T-shirt. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, sure.
I had a real deep sense of loathing for myself. I would look at myself in a mirror and be disgusted with it. I hated it. A couple of times when I was a teenager, I thought about breaking my own ribs to fix them. At school, I would start to lash out at other kids, get into fights. I actually got expelled. I started to smoke drugs. I started to hang out with the wrong kind of kids. I started to drink. I wanted to be the cool kid, so I did what the cool kids did. I just wanted to finally have someone that would accept me and a group that would accept me, but unfortunately they didn't accept me for the right reasons.
You all right?
Oof, that last bit was still...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just a breath in and out for me. As much as you're comfortable. I've organised for you to have a chest X-ray. Your blood's already in the lab. I'm happy with your ECG. So if that's all okay, I'll give you some cocodamol to go home with. Is that all right? Amazing. Come with me and I'll show you the way to X-ray.
In my late teens, early 20s, I did suffer with depression, low self-esteem. I would always have this overriding panic that my chest would get worse and worse and worse, and more people would notice it, and eventually a t-shirt wouldn't cover it up or a jumper wouldn't cover it up. I would drive myself into drinking every single day. I struggled to hold down jobs. I was kind of all over the place growing up.
Okay, Jamie, do you want to come through, please?
Mentally, I was in pieces. Emotionally, I was in pieces. Physically, I was in pieces.
Jamie, which is easier for you? Hands on your lower back and roll your shoulders forward, or do you want to bring your hands forward and hold onto the bars?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm gonna achieve either, but I can give this a go. All your muscles would feel tight, and you'd take a breath, and you just couldn't feel your lungs.
So Jamie, in a second, just breathe in for me now. Hold your breath, please. And breathe away normally. Lovely.
There was one occasion I was standing on a tube on the way to work, and I just had pains in my chest, and then out of nowhere I just collapsed and blacked out, and was dragged off the train by an ambulance crew. That moment is kind of one of those ones where you sort of wake up and say, okay, I need to tackle this now. I can't delay this and put this off and think about it tomorrow.
Bend it as much as you can towards you, that's it. My ankle is actually peaked from this angle.
Barman Robert is having an X-ray of his ankle after a beer barrel fell on his foot.
All right, so we're gonna have a look at your ankle now. So if we take these out, that's it.
A few months ago, I found out that I was gonna be a dad. At first, I just had a little panic, stressing. I was just like, no, this can't be happening. Like, my life is over. I've got a little life to be responsible for.
No worries.
Thank you. Have a good one. As much as I'm not with the mum now, that shouldn't affect the relationship I have with my son.
How'd it go?
Yeah, no, you just x-rayed me, hurt my ankle a little bit.
I was just like, I need to find a good job that pays more money. Genuinely panicking.
We didn't take any lefts or rights.
I'm not doing well my first job.
Skylar was just the one that helped me through my panic and my issues. And he was just like, stop being an idiot. Like, you're gonna be a dad now. Things aren't gonna be over. You're gonna just embrace it, and you're gonna do better at work because you're just gonna be happier with life. You're gonna feel more self-fulfilled, you know? It's not that bad. Your progression is coming. You're gonna get more money. Things are gonna work out, you know? And you looked ahead in the future, which is something that I wasn't doing, you know? I was just genuinely going, I'm finished.
So Heineken 1, your leg 0. You want to see it?
Yeah.
You see that crack there?
Ooh.
Your foot's fine though, that's good news. Yeah, it's a straight, clean break. Yeah, we'll just give you a cast and crutches.
Skylar was pushing like other managers. He'll be the first one to recommend me for something. Yeah, he just genuinely helped me build up my reputation and progress. And now I'm on the management side. It's literally a whole new world to bartending.
Ah.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah. I want to see what the gain is to this.
Now it's got to the point where I've got to think of another life, you know? I got more than one mouth to feed now. Like, I can't just go around spending money, buying everyone around.
So not to seem insensitive, but when can you work again?
Yeah.
Well, bonus takes 6 weeks to heal.
6 weeks? Oh, cool. That's not too bad.
Life is changing, just kind of panic over. Now it's time I've got to actually have a career. It's less party and bartending, more like business.
This is a new one, no? This is a new record for people trying to get out of work.
Can you draw?
Why? What are you drawing?
No, no. I've started to sort of draw.
Draw what?
Like animals.
Animals? Is it?
No, it's at home.
Why are you drawing animals?
Procrastination.
Are you good?
No.
Ba, oraya.
Hasiben's daughter-in-law and family friend have now arrived at St. George's.
Yellow, isn't she?
So she's had the antibiotics. We're giving her, this is her second bag of fluid. So just her blood pressure's a bit low. And then we need to pop a catheter in as well. Yeah.
Mom was very, very keen for me to have good education. So she always encouraged me to work hard. I completed my A-levels in a very reputable school in Kenya. I was one of the top students there. I got a first-class equivalent of grading.
So look like this. She's saying her whole body's in a lot of pain.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling.
I got admission into a very reputable pharmacy school, part of London University in UK. She was very proud of me, yes, because the results come in the local paper and everything else, and she kept showing everybody, look, my son got a first class, and got admission in the school, so she's very proud, yeah.
Blanket lavish. Blanket lavish.
Mom could have stayed back home, but she always wanted to be with me. My mom and dad made a decision. Dad was staying in Kenya and my mom was here with me in England. For 4 years, my parents were totally apart. We couldn't afford the tickets to either for my father to come here or my mother to go there. I think a lot about the sacrifice she's made. It's an enormous step to take, come to a different country, especially for my mom, to be honest, because she spoke little English.
No improvement.
When she came over here, it was necessary for her to get a job. She worked in a big factory in South London. She used to package the goods on their way out. I think she worked very hard. Quite often she's really tired and everything else, but she just took it in her stride. When I came home from university, she always gave me some money, about £20 or something, which was a good day's wage.
She's taken some more blood. First test, I want to mark lactic because they wanted to, because the fluids and everything has gone in, so they need to recheck. So she's taken some more blood.
I'm sure it was hard. For her. My mom was here on her own and my dad was in Kenya. So I always wanted to bring them together and be a family.
Doctors now have the results of Hasiben's X-ray.
This is all. Yeah. Sepsis, I'd say.
Sepsis is when you have an infection, but the body produces a reaction to the infection. It's such an overwhelming reaction that you don't get enough blood supply to your main organs, such as your kidneys, your heart, your brain, your lungs, and that can lead to multi-organ failure. It can be fatal, especially if they're elderly and they don't have a great reserve. Probably need to have that discussion in the family as well. Yeah. We are trained to have those conversations, particularly ones that involve breaking bad news. However, the real thing is always very different compared to any practice that you do with a colleague or with a friend. And I find it quite hard to deliver quite emotional blows to people. But throughout our training, we have the backup of a team of some wonderful health professionals. Some of the consultants, they're so composed. They just seem to just flow and know exactly the right thing to say.
Hello.
Hi there.
So your mum's blood pressure does keep dropping a little bit, so we're going to give her some more fluids.
Okay.
At baseline, she's normally well in herself, moving around okay, independent otherwise?
Yes.
Yes,
She is.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. And how does she get around at home?
With the Zimmer frame, she moves around. She doesn't go out of the house at all.
She doesn't go out of the house,
No,
okay.
she moves around with the Zimmer frame.
Okay.
She got no problem with home at all.
Okay.
We're there to look after her.
No, absolutely. It's more just have that discussion about what to do if she deteriorated further.
So, I mean, in terms of how frail she is and how unwell she is,
She's very frail.
we think that she's basically got an infection that is causing her blood pressure to drop.
Sure.
It may be that because she's so frail, she starts to deteriorate.
Oh,
Her
I
blood
see.
pressure may start becoming lower despite us giving her fluids and antibiotics. If her heart was to stop, despite all of these efforts, then there is an option that we do cardiopulmonary resuscitation. I don't think that's suitable for her because she's so frail.
Yeah.
And I think it would almost be like an assault because I don't think it will.
No, no.
It would.
I
It
understand
would
what you mean.
help. So I would suggest that we the ceiling of care would be ITU, HDU with inotropes if she was to need it. You're a pharmacist.
I'm a pharmacist. I understand.
But then if that wasn't to work, then we'll do our best in terms of keeping her comfortable.
I'm happy with what my medical profession thinks, you know. It's
Okay.
right for her, really, to be honest, you know. She's very, very frail, yes, you're right. I think she's had enough in a way, you know, that she can't do much. She was a very active person before. She seems to think she's had enough of depending on others all the time, you know. I don't want to see her suffer.
How do you feel now? Do you feel any better?
The pain's like dropping a little bit.
It's dropping a little bit. Yeah.
No.
Doctors are awaiting the results of Jamie's x-rays.
Towards my mid-20s, I was getting regular chest pains, you know, problems with breathing. I felt as though if you don't get it fixed, then you're gonna end up essentially in the ground before your time. So I went back to the GP and he referred me back to the surgeon.
Have you ever seen your x-ray after your operation?
No.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
I want to see your x-ray.
Is it a bit messy?
No, your lungs are looking good. It's just I thought you might be interested to see the bar.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, she asked me.
They decided that the MIST procedure was the most appropriate and that's the route that we were going to take. Essentially, when you insert a bar into the chest to drive it outwards.
Can we come see?
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
So that's your bar?
That's hideous.
But no, so that's the bar going across, and these are your lung fields, which look actually really lovely and normal. That's your heart sitting in the right space.
Cool.
Good
It
to
used
know.
to sit here.
It used to be up here.
Yeah, it used to be like, you used to
pushed.
beat out the side.
Yeah. So there it is, sitting in a really normal position, and that's the bar that they put in. So that's why I was saying when I wanted to check your scars, I was quite impressed by how small the scars were given the bar that they put in.
He's a professional, clearly.
But not surprising that that's causing you pain.
Yeah, cool.
That's your x-ray. I just thought you'd be interested to see.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So your blood tests are perfectly normal.
Sweet.
But I'll come back and explain it all to you in just a minute.
Cool,
Is that
no
okay?
worries, yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
I remember being in the recovery room, kind of opening my eyes and not knowing what time it was, what day of the week it was. Immediately you look down to see what's happened, and it was all bandaged up and kind of packed in and tight. And it was excruciatingly painful.
Your blood tests are perfect, actually.
Cool.
Which is really good. I'm going to give you some stronger painkillers. Okay? So this is a prescription for cocodamol. All right? It contains paracetamol and codeine.
So just drop the paracetamol?
Drop the paracetamol, and then you can have the ibuprofen on top. okay? So I've given you enough for a week. If you need more, go see your GP. He'll have a letter from me saying that I've given you this and that hopefully it will help. Is that all right?
Happy days.
Take care.
Thank
It's
you.
lovely to meet you both. And I hope that things get a bit better soon.
Cool,
all right?
yeah,
Do you have some follow-up? You have follow-up at Bart's, I assume?
Yeah, next week or the week after.
Great. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
When I kind of first took the bandages off and I looked in the mirror for the first time, I cried, yeah. It was something that was, I'd put so much weight on my whole life, and I just felt like that was the last piece of me that I could just leave in the past now. You know, I was a new man, I was a different person. I'd gone through so much change, and I could let go of all that anger, that frustration, you know, all of the kind of regrets. Everything could just be let go in that one moment, and it was just like a rush of emotion just kind of comes over you, and you don't really know what to do with it, and you just burst into tears.
Hasu, hello. Can you stick your tongue out for me? Hasu, stick your tongue out so I know you can hear me. Thank you.
Yeah, look at that.
Doctors are preparing to move Hasuben to a ward for specialist monitoring.
She wants some water. Check it, check it.
Have you got any pain anywhere?
The whole body, but the shoulders more.
As soon as I passed my degree and I qualified as a pharmacist, I knew that now I could get a good job. As soon as I got that, I told my mom, "We'll stop working now. I want you to take life easy with me," and she was very happy. She might have happy tears, you know, to say that, oh, my son is qualified and now, you know, he's going to support me rather than me supporting him all these years, you know. I brought my father from Kenya to UK to stay with us. For 4 years, my parents were totally apart. I wanted her to have the family back together.
Take some nice deep breaths.
She's made a lot of sacrifice to me, of course, in her life. I'm so very grateful to her.
So this is the lady that was septic with a red score of 9. She is frail. The family, the pharmacist, we've had a discussion with them and we agreed that we would give antibiotics and fluids.
But they are happy with DNAR?
Yes.
Her decision of bringing me here for education has had all these benefits we enjoy now. It really meant a lot that I could support her, look after her, to make her comfortable.
With elderly patients, it always makes me think of my parents and what they're going to be like in the future. As an only child, if there's ever going to be something horrible that happens to them, or if there's ever a nasty conversation that has to be had, it will just be me that has to make those kind of decisions. So seeing patients and their relatives going through it, having to think about what they want to do if their life is coming to an end, it's quite heartbreaking.
I'd pinned so much on this surgery and correcting this depression in my chest that when I had the bar removed, it was an awfully difficult time for me. In the end, I decided to make my peace with how I was and who I was, and accepted that that's how I am and that's how I'm supposed to be.
it was a very tragic moment for me. Very sad to see her in the position she was, you know. I thought she would not come back home. I feel very grateful that I've got this extra time with her. I care for my mom, bottom of my heart, and words can't say that, and I'm just speechless. I love her too much. I love her a lot.